Coming up on UB Basketball Insider, we'll get you ready for the Bulls game today against Ball State. Head coach Nate Oates looks back at the early part of the Mid-American Conference schedule, and we'll introduce you to a pair of young guards who are D'ing it up, Devontae and Dante. It is time to tip it off. It's UB Basketball Insider.
Backs away from the defender, gives it to Jordan, goes down the alley, lays it up, out the basket, and a foul. The junior from Mass, here's a lot from Hamilton to McKenzie, who finishes at the rim with the alley-oop dunk. Explodes toward the hoop, hangs in the air, lays it in off the glass. Athletic move from Dante Carruthers.
And we welcome in UB head coach Nate Oates for this edition of UB Basketball Insider. And Nate, you're 3 games into the Mid-American Conference schedule. You've got the 4th game coming up later today. It's a 2 p.m. tip-off here at Alumni Arena against the Ball State Cardinals. Before we get into the Cardinals too much, I know it's early. I know it's only 3 games, but are you getting a little sense of what this MAC season's going to be about and where your team kind of fits into things a little bit?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, on our side, everybody's 4 teams are 1-2, and there's 2 teams that are 3-0, and we outplayed one of them. It's Akron, Ohio. We outplayed Ohio. We were up 15 on them and really had them, and some mental errors cost us the game. But I think Eastern's good on the others. They were picked to win the other side. We went into their place and really outplayed them too. And both games we didn't shoot the ball particularly well, missed a bunch of free throws, and still, I think our defense is coming around. The Toledo, the first game was just a bad start. I think our guys needed a kind of a big-time wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? We didn't shoot it well. We haven't shot it well in any of the games, to be honest with you. But when our effort's been there these last 2 games, we've proven we can play with anybody and beat anybody in the league. We just gotta start to mentally, physically we're playing really hard. Mentally we got to focus as well as we are playing hard.
Are you sensing, and maybe sometimes this is a fans and sportscaster thing, that you guys are the 2-time defending MAC champions. Everybody knows how good you are. Everybody wants to be able to say they just beat the 2-time MAC champions. Do you get a sense from the opponents that there's a little different level of intensity? Do you get a sense from your own players that there's a different level of confidence having done that going into this year?
I definitely sense it from the opponents. The Toledo game especially, they came out ready to play, and we'd been trying to tell our guys all year, like, you guys got a bullseye on your back. And I just don't think until it happened that they realized that it's going to be like this. So then our energy was way better in the Eastern game, and that was good. Now, Ohio coming here, Ohio smacked us pretty good at our place last year. I thought we had a lot better. I thought we played well enough to win. We definitely played well enough to win. Like I said, we just had some of those mental errors. But Ohio didn't shoot it as well maybe as they had been shooting it, but they were ready to go. They were it was a little bit chippy game. I mean, I think, now we're 1-2. Akron and Ohio probably think, they do have a lead on winning the conference, both being 3-0, but still think everybody knows, we've won it the last 2 years. Nobody's ever won it 3 years in a row, so they're going to be gunning for us. Nobody wants us to be the first team to go, back to back to back in the MAC. So we got to bring it every night. So, and I think it'll make us better in the long run, to be honest with you.
All right, well, the next team that's gunning for you is later today. As I mentioned, Ball State comes in with a 10-6 record. They're 1-2 in their early stages of the MAC. What do you know about the Cardinals? What are you expecting? I know in Franco House they have an outstanding all-MAC level player as well, too.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, they're well coached. I think Coach does a great job over there. They've gotten significantly better since he took over. But it's hard to tell. Their non-conference schedule wasn't nearly what ours was. They've got a lot better record based on the level of play. So, they're 1-2 just like we are. They've had some tough games. They're going to play hard. We're got to play better. Our thing, we just need to get better every game. We've got to be mentally focused as well as still physically playing hard. So, and Franco House gives you problems inside. I mean, they're he's been good in this league for a long. I mean, he went head-to-head with Moss back in Moss's first year here. So he's been around a long time. He's experienced. He knows what he's doing. He's smart. He's going to cause some problems, and we're not as deep as we once were inside. So maybe more of an Quate's out with the broken hand now. He's not going to be able to play for a while, and we don't have the depth inside like we used to. So DK and Ikenna are going to have to play smart, not foul. Try to keep him under check without getting too many fouls.
Let's take a quick look back at a game a week ago, a really significant win on the road for you at Eastern Michigan, one of those teams a lot of people thought was going to be and may still certainly be in the mix, in the Western Division. But you go in there, you win 77-68. C.J. Massenberg, a double-double, first of his career, first of 2 straight double-doubles for C.J. Massenberg. How significant for all of those things that you just said was winning at a place like Eastern Michigan?
No, it was huge. I think it gave us some confidence that if we do play hard, we're going to be in games and give ourselves a chance every night, because we didn't shoot the ball that well. And, our turnovers were still too high, which has been an issue kind of with us all year. But, we just played a lot harder. And, CJ's double-double, I think, was pretty evident as how hard he's playing. And then he fouled it up with another one against Ohio. So, he's getting in there rebounding the ball. Like, we've been asking our guards to get in and help rebound down a little bit. We've out-rebounded the last 2 teams pretty significantly, and I think he's a big part of that. And I think his offensive game's coming. The mono being out that long and then coming back without really, he obviously wasn't in great shape, and he's probably playing too many minutes. Mm-hmm. But, I think he went home. I think it was good for everybody. He got home on Christmas, came back with a little bit renewed focus. He's been in the gym a lot since he's been back, and it means a lot to him. I mean, he's one of our leaders, and he's trying to take ownership of this team, and I think he's doing that right now.
All right, so later today at 2 o'clock start against Ball State, the next test for Nate Oates' teams. But when we come back here on UB Basketball Insider, more with head coach Nate Oates, and we'll introduce you to the kid from Rochester, another one of those key players for the team, Dante Carruthers. More on him coming up next.
Buffalo sports fans, the UB men's basketball team will host the Cardinals of Ball State in a MAC showdown on Saturday, January 14th. With tickets starting as low as $8, Alumni Arena is the place to be for fun family entertainment. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. For tickets and more information, visit ubbulls.com or call 1-877-UB-THERE.
This segment of UB Basketball Insider is brought to you by CEFCU. For all your banking, insurance, and investment needs, visit your local branch or go to cefcu.com.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck. The Bulls over the years have had some outstanding players from the city of Rochester, probably none greater than Javon McCray. Well, there's a connection from Javon to this year's outstanding player from Rochester. In this week's CEFCU Player Profile, we introduce you to redshirt sophomore guard Dante Carruthers.
Hi, I'm Dante Carruthers, redshirt sophomore, and I'm on the men's basketball team. Came from Rochester, New York. Coach Brian helped me. He recruited me out of high school, took me to Midland. And then he came here after 1 year. I was good on my grades, stayed down, just staying true to the game. And then I ended up transferring to Indian Hills. And then after the Hills, I started getting recruited by Coach B again. And like the connection just never fell off, and that's really my guy. So I really trusted him with my career to come here. My experience has been phenomenal. I've been having a great time getting to know all the new teammates. Obviously, everybody knew each other for a while. I'm just picking up how everybody gets to feel for each other.
CJ head up on the dribble, goes from left to right, sets up Carruthers for right side 3. He got it!
Nice corner 3 by the Carruthers there as Massenberg hit him right in stride.
My major is communications. I would like to use that as a tool to get to my destination, which is being a sports broadcaster, and hopefully working at ESPN with all the NBA vets that is there right now. So that's the main goal. Just watching ESPN every day, waiting until 55 to the top 10 to come on every morning at 8 is just, I really want to be one of those guys. My cousin Javon McCray, obviously everybody call him 12, and he had a good career here. I used to come up, watch a few games when I was home. He also talked to me through the recruiting process because he's my big cousin, obviously. He called me every day and told me don't pass his scoring records, but that's the goal, to obviously beat his records and win. The most important thing. I want to build on the family tradition here.
Well, Nate, the interesting thing about Dante Carruthers is as a high school senior in Rochester, he leads the entire state of New York in scoring, I think over 30 points per game. But what's impressed him most for you is his defense. So how does a kid who is a real pure scorer learn how to be such a good defender?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, he's a tough kid, and he competes, and he wants to win. I mean, he's probably the most competitive kid out there, at least one of the most competitive, and I think he's found a way to get himself on the floor. I think it hurt him a little bit. He had to sit out a year with a broken foot. It just, his offensive flow just hasn't quite been there. It'd be great if, Shooty, he'd start scoring it again like he did as a senior in high school. We could use it. He's been playing a lot more. He may get the start today. To be honest with you, against Ball State, he's just been playing so hard and so well, and we need to get great starts defensively. And, that has kind of been his MO this year, and it's done well for him on the defensive end for us.
As a coach, is that a conversation that you'll have with Dante where you say, hey, I need more from you offensively. I need you to think about it more, be more aggressive. Is that that's part of the coaching process?
Yeah, I tell him. I mean, I don't know why you're passing up open shots. We're encouraging him to get in at night, come in, shoot, get on the gun, come in with Coach Hunter. He's been, get some individual work, shoot. You average 30 in high school. I know it's obviously a different level here, but you've proven you can score. He needs to be more aggressive on offense. I think, and he had a turnover problem early. He's kind of got that squared away, but even that was because he wasn't. I thought it was because he wasn't aggressive enough. He playing hesitant, second guessing decisions, and just needs to go score the ball when it's there in front of him to score.
Are you at the point now, and this relates to Dante and relates to really any of your freshmen or your transfers, are you at the point now where those guys should be comfortable enough in what they expect, what you expect from them, where they fit in the role of the team? Does that generally happen in January?
Yeah, I think this year's a little bit mixed up that way just because some of them got heavier minutes early just because of some injuries, like CJ was out for those 8 games, so, Devontae got some heavy minutes early with a little bit different role. CJ comes back, their minutes get cut, their role changes a little bit. Dante's adapting well, really making himself, like you said, a defensive stopper. And Q missed the 4 games with the concussion, and then he comes back, he's playing heavy minutes. Now he's going to be out. So we just, some of the roles change as injuries come up or players play better or not. But it'd be nice to be in that way, if we had everybody available to us all season. I think by now you would be in that, but we just haven't. It hasn't been that type of a year for us, and so they're still figuring out roles, and hopefully they're figuring out if you don't guard, you're really not going to be able to play much, and they're figuring that out, I think, right now.
First rule of basketball, you better play some defense if you want to see the court. Today, 2 o'clock, it's the Ball State Cardinals that are here to take on Nate Oates' UB Bulls. When we come back, we'll talk about one of the other key players, one of the other newcomers at guard that Nate has already mentioned. You'll learn much more about Devontae Jordan. That's next on UB Basketball Insider.
Buffalo sports fans, the UB men's basketball team will host the Cardinals of Ball State in a MAC showdown on Saturday, January 14th. With tickets starting as low as $8, Alumni Arena is the place to be for fun family entertainment. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. For tickets and more information, visit ubbulls.com or call 1-877-UB-THERE.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. We just told you Dante Carruthers' story, but there's another young guard making an impact. Devontae Jordan was a guy who fell through some of the cracks, but he is certainly happy to have wound up here at UB.
I am Devontae Jordan, a freshman point guard on the UB men's basketball team. I started playing basketball in 5th grade. Before I played basketball, I was a football player. My middle school coach made me make a decision whether if I wanted to play basketball or football, and I committed to basketball. And from then, I just been on basketball the rest of my life. Montverde is a wonderful school to play for. For basketball, we play against the top players in the country, top teams, and we also were the top team in the country. Overall, it's the play, the skill level, the pace, and the teaching is at college level. I was at a high school that allows me to leave my parents just to come play basketball, so I'm used to the whole process. The recruiting process was painful, very painful. I had to wait to the last second for me to take the test. But once UB contacted me, they was on me hard, and they made it seem like they really wanted me, and there's a place for me to be. I learned from Coach Oaks from day one. You play hard, you practice hard, you're gonna play.
Kicks to Connor for a left wing three, no good. High for the rebound, Devontae Jordan. He misses the follow. The ball's loose under the bucket, and Devontae comes out of there with it. Great hustle. Connor left wing, top of the key, Carruthers. Dante backs away from the defender, gives it to Jordan, goes down the alley, lays it up, out the basket, and a foul. What a sequence for Devontae Jordan.
I'm so glad he scored that play because he earned every bit of those 2 points.
Coach Lindsey Hunter, it's amazing to have him at our facility to help players get to the top potential. I just think it was a blessing for me to come here with a guard that played in the league for 17 years and won a championship or two. My strength in my game is attacking the rim, getting players open, getting players involved, talking, and leading the team.
Jordan lobs it for Kadir, he slams it down.
My goals for this season is to help UB win another championship.
Well, we talked about Dante Carruthers. What has impressed you the most about Devontae Jordan in his transition to playing here and in the MAC?
You know what, he kind of fits our style offensively, just playing fast, coming downhill, getting in the lane. You know, honestly, he's really the only true point guard we've got on the roster. You know, a guy that's looking to distribute, gets in the lane and makes plays. You know, we've got other guys that have filled the role. Blake's done it for us, CJ's done it for us, but neither one of them are really true point guards. Carruthers, some, but he's more of a scorer. So Devontae's that true point guard on the roster, and you know he's trying to figure out the defensive side of it. Like, if he's been pretty good offensively, you know, big assist to turnover ratio, he's got the best by far on the team. If you could kind of combine him and Carruthers, you'd have an unbelievable point guard. You know, Carruthers can lock him up, and Devontae. So we're trying to get.
Call the UB Medical School. They might be working on stuff like that.
We're trying to get Carruthers to give us a little bit more offensively, but he's playing his tail off on defense. We're trying to get Devontae Jordan to give us a lot more defensively, and they're both working hard at it. They both have great attitudes and want what's best for the team. We're just, you know, trying to work with both of them on what they need to work on.
Devontae's an interesting story. He comes from a very high-level school at Montverde Academy down in Florida that's produced a number of high-level college and NBA players. What does that say about where your recruiting has taken steps forward, that you can go to a place like that and get a kid like Devontae Jordan to come here?
You know what? He was a little bit a different deal. He got a test score late in the summer, but the people that were advising him in Florida, basically, once we came in and offered and went hard after him in July, you know, they basically told him this is where he needs to go. Like, you know, we've been to the tournament the last 2 years. Our profile's gotten a lot bigger. So, you know, it helped. It definitely helps us out. And then, you know, we went back into Florida. Kid, Jeremy Harris signed with us. He's at a junior college down there, Gulf Coast. Last rankings came out. He was the third-ranked JUCO player in the country, the top-ranked JUCO wing, which is huge. Like those, you know, everybody else above him and below him for a while are all high major kids. So, you know, we've been now 2 kids out of Florida. Now Jeremy's originally from North Carolina. We got a kid signed from South Carolina, though, that's playing well. So, yeah, we've been able to get to some different areas. And, you know, CJ being from Dallas, we really only have one kid from New York, and we're not trying to do it that way particularly. We'll take, you know, any kid good enough around here. Javon McCray was pretty good from right around here. You know, Will Regan, but if they're not there, I think we've proven we can go out and get them from somewhere else now too.
All right, interesting stuff to watch for as this program continues to expand its recruiting base and expand the level of players that come here. We've got much more to come on UB Basketball Insider. Don't forget Nate's team in action later today, a 2 o'clock start here at Alumni Arena against the Ball State Cardinals. Good luck today. We got much more. We're taking you around the MAC, let you know how things are going around the rest of the league. That is next on UB Basketball Insider.
Tenacity, ambition, purpose. Here, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. Later today at 2 o'clock tip-off between the Bulls and the Ball State Cardinals. Early on in the year, Bulls have already played a couple of the very best teams in the Mid-American Conference in Eastern Michigan and Ohio. Let's check in on everybody else. It's time to go around the MAC. The Kent State Golden Flashes are off to a 9-7 overall record this season and 1-2 in early MAC play. The Golden Flashes are led by senior forward Jimmy Hall, who leads the team with 16 points and 10 rebounds per game. The Bulls head to Kent, Ohio for a matchup with the Flashes this Tuesday. Tip-off is 7 o'clock. The Bulls return home on Saturday, January 21st to host the Western Michigan Broncos. They're 1-2 in MAC play, with their most recent win coming against Toledo earlier this week. When the Broncos need scoring, they turn to junior guard Thomas Wilder, who averages 16.5 points per game. Tip-off against the Broncos is next Saturday at 2:30 right here in Alumni Arena. The Miami Redhawks stand with an 8-8 overall record at the midpoint of their season, and they've got a freshman phenom at the helm. Guard Michael Weathers leads the team with over 18 points per game and also leads the team in assists with 83 through the first 16 games. The Bulls hit the road to face the Redhawks in Oxford, Ohio on Tuesday, January 24th. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. Don't forget, the Bulls are in action later today. It's a 2 o'clock tip-off here at Alumni Arena against the Ball State Cardinals. Make sure you're here early for all the fun and excitement. Thanks for watching this week's edition of UB Basketball Insider.